Hi again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of First Person, sponsored by the Ruin Camp Farm Drainage Company in Fort Laramie. 81 years of experience with farm, residential, and commercial. If you've got water issues, they'll make water work for you. That's the Ruin Camp Farm Drainage Company there in Laramie, Caulfield, Warhorse. He'll help you out. Our first installment of basketball on First Person for the 2013-14 season. We couldn't be more privileged to be in Anna, right up the road from Phil Barhorst. I think you know Phil.
Yes, I do, very well.
Today to talk to Dave McFeeley, the head basketball coach, and the new head basketball coach for that matter, of the Division IV state champion Anna Rockets. Dave, first of all, congratulations on the gig. I'm glad to be here with you, and I appreciate your taking your time, because this is opening week of your season, and I know you're busy.
Yeah, we played Tuesday night, and we're playing tonight, and we're playing again Saturday, so this is our NBA week.
I don't know how many different places you've coached. We were talking about that before we went on camera. It's a lot of them, but I don't have to tell you, it's nice to come and assume a state champion, because there's profile, but there's also the matter of the kind of scrutiny that you get in comparison to Jack Billing, who was so successful here, 3 state champion trips back to back, and won 2 out of 3 years.
I think he was 117 and 15.
Yes, sir.
And I know I was in the gym at New Bremen when he started his high school coaching career, and he lost the first 2 games, one to New Knoxville and the next night to DeGraff Riverside. And so there's 2 of the 15 losses right there.
He got real good after that.
Oh, he got real good. It's a great honor to be able to follow Jack. I had our friend Ken Barhorst told me, he said, why would you want to follow Jack Billing? And I said, because they were looking for an idiot and I volunteered.
You've always been there, haven't you?
Yeah, you betcha.
You know, you come in here and you get a great tradition. And I think that's what coaches look for first when they're looking at a job. Is it something I have to build, or is it something I can maintain? Is it better to build, easier, or better to maintain?
It depends, because right now we lost a lot of players from last year. We have 2 lettermen back. We have 4 girls that can't pass the physical because of knee problems that would have been back. And we have 2 seniors. And we thought we had a pretty good nucleus there. And then all of a sudden the doctors are saying, no, you can't play anymore, no, you can't play anymore. And so Avery Bensman was a big starter last year. And she's been out. The day I got the contract, she blew her knee out at AAU practice. Same knee that was bothering her before. Tonight is the first night she's allowed to start playing. So she's going to play a couple quarters tonight, and hopefully we move on from there and put that knee issue behind us. But we lost Chandler Bensman, we lost Landis, we lost Blankenship, all because of physical problems. And then we have one girl, Rachel Nelsinger, that chose not to come back out. She wanted to concentrate on volleyball. So,
you know, you come here with a tradition of play, naturally, but also a style of play. And I always said jokingly that the Anna girls' idea of defense was to rip your throat out and see what you could do. If you could get up and go on, they'd shake your hand. But, they play tough defense here, physical defense. Are you able to come in and piggyback on that, or have you brought a lot of ideas of your own?
Well, defensively, there's not a whole lot of difference from where Jack and I were at. He pressed obviously a lot more than we did because he had more quickness than we had at New Bremen and some other places. But we had athletes, and we were able to get into people's face. I think that my 2008-2009 year at New Bremen, we only gave up 50 points twice, and we lost both of those games. So our defensive average was into the 30s. We're playing a lot of the same stuff here. We're still pressing, we're still running and gunning, and we've got a lot of young kids, so they like that style of play.
I know you have always appreciated good competition, and that's a good reason to be in this league, because I don't have to tell you, right down the road, you got another state champion, you got another iconic coach in Carla down the road there, Carla Siegel, and I know you enjoy that type of confrontation, that type of challenge, and you respect that.
I certainly do, and you know, Carla and I go way back because she was my assistant at Laramie when we went to the state in '97, and she's done a tremendous job since then. And I love competing against her, against Fort Laramie, and again, as you say, against the big teams. We just played Lima Bath Tuesday night, and you know, they're a real strong D2 team right now, and they beat us by 4. We were playing freshmen, sophomores, and juniors in that game, so you know, we're going to get better.
Dave McFeeley, the head basketball coach, girls head basketball coach at Anna, our guest this week on First Person. I always want to give coaches, particularly in the girls game, this opportunity to talk about the state of the game. It has come so far in the last 20 years. All you have to do is go to the state tournament, look at how the Anna Rockets played the last 3 years, look at how Carla Siegel's Laramie Redskins played 4 out of the last 6 or 7 years at the state tournament. Tell us the state of the game right now.
Well, I think there's a couple issues on that. Number one is I think we're still growing, but I think there are more growth spurts coming up. You know, we're still regulated to that 1 o'clock game. When Ohio State played in the Michigan game, everybody wanted to move to 10 o'clock, and Mike Muirfield and I talked, and we said, you know what, we're a varsity basketball team. We need to at least have some respect out of that and not play at 10 o'clock like the junior high does. And so we feel that there's still some room for improvement. The style of play, the technique of play that the kids are doing right now, the colleges that were around. The other night we had 7 colleges here for both us and Bath, and you know, that makes a big difference because now the kids are excited about, you know, hey, there are people still coming to see us. So
let me ask you this: how much has a Brittany Griner done for the game of women's basketball? And I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say considerable, because she has opened so many eyes.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, you look at everybody focused on her last year, but then you also look at Louisville, who beat them, and you know, they're a top team, and they're going to be a contender now. You look at Gino up at UConn, and down at Duke, they've got excellent teams, and big time women's basketball on TV is these kids are starting to watch the games now. It's not just watch the boys or watch the men's game. They're watching the women's game and thinking, I can be there someday. And
the women are beginning to dunk the basketball.
Yeah.
That's in Brittany Griner.
Yeah. And so that's a big change in the game. There's some of the things that the numbers. We've got 2 teams in our league are not playing JV ball anymore.
Yeah.
And so we got to get the kids out. It's easier not to play than it is to go play. And so we need to see some of these schools get it. And, you know, it's not the coach's fault, it's not the administration's fault, it's the kids that don't want to come out and work right now.
And Dave, I know you like the fact of support, and you couldn't be in a better place than, you know, I've never been here when the gym wasn't full for a girls' basketball game, and that is so refreshing to see.
When I watched the tapes after I got the job here, I watched the Laramie Anna tape of the last game of the year, and it was almost sold out.
It was.
It was almost sold out, and that's phenomenal, and that's what I want to see us get back to.
You know, you're a personal favorite of mine for many, many years, but you wrote me an email here not too long ago, back in the fall, when we published an article about the resurgence of the 2012 Pittsburgh Pirates, and it was a great letter, and I have kept that, and I've reread it many times, about you reminiscing about being a Pirates fan when you were a kid, and the 1960 Pittsburgh Pirates, and what a kick it was to read that.
Oh, the 1960 Pirates, I could probably name the starters and the batting order if I gave it a few minutes to think about, but they were my favorite team. And you know, a lot of those guys came from the Cincinnati Reds.
A lot of them did, but I'm going to ask you quickly, your favorite player off the 60 Pirates?
Oh, my favorite player has to be Bill Mazeroski.
Yeah.
Because he's from the area I'm from. I'm from over around Steubenville, north of Steubenville, in a little town called Toronto. And Bill Mazeroski is from Raylan, which is about 20 miles south. And he owned the golf course there that I played on, so he had to be a favorite.
I'm going to trump that with Bill Verdon, the center fielder, because my uncle used to say, watch Bill Verdon track a fly ball and you can be a big leaguer. If you can do it like that, you can be a big leaguer.
Well, then don't forget Roberto Clemente.
Clemente.
I mean, those guys were all all-stars.
It's fun. Fun to reminisce about
Yes,
that.
it
Dave,
is.
we wish you the best.
Thanks very
It's
much.
always fun to be in a gym where his basketball teams are playing or to be around Dave McFeeley. And that wraps up this week's edition of First Person. Again, we'll remind you, brought to you by the Ruin Camp Farm Drainage Company. Phil Barhorst, been there for a long time, not 81 years, but they've been around that long, and if you got water problems, they can make it work for you. Again, for the sponsors and Dave McFeeley, thanks for your support of high school basketball and sports on PressProsMagazine.com. We'll see you again soon with another edition of First Person.